You got a little one coming up.
My 1 o'clock dog is here. She is a little elderly Pomeranian. I think she's 13, something like that. If this is your first time here, I'm a dog groomer and I make dog grooming videos. And I'm going to show you how I groom Pomeranians. I've been grooming a very long time, so instead of bending over into the tub all day, which hurts my back, I've rigged up this storage bucket and I drilled holes in it. And it is now my doggy bathing platform. Before I cut her hair, I need her nice and clean and dry. So that is what I'm doing right now. I'm scrubbing her down with watermelon scented dog shampoo. And in case you don't know anything about Pomeranians, Pomeranians should not be cut short because it can really mess up their hair. They can end up with bald spots. While I have her shampoo on, I'm using this undercoat rake and I'm just going to brush her while she's wet to loosen up her undercoat. So when I go to blow dry her, all of that undercoat will loosen up and she will be easier to brush out and her undercoat will be easier to remove. She always gets hard, crusty eye boogers in the corners of her eyes, so while she's wet and has shampoo on her face, I'm going to come in with my human head lice comb, and you can use a flea comb too, to pull out her eye boogers and loosen them up. And also, in case you didn't think about it, Pomeranians grow hair on their face too, which really should be combed every once in a while, just to keep the hair fluffy and combed out. I blow dry her for just a minute real fast. I'm going to go ahead and towel dry her, put her away for a few minutes, and then I'll get her out and finish drying her on the grooming table. But first, here's a bonus clip of my Basset Hound puppies. This is Dill, and she is a girl, and here's her brother, Tater. He's a boy. They are too big and too excitable, so I don't leave them in here for long. I let them come in and sniff around, and then I kick them back out.
Hi there.
Look at that girl. Like I was saying before, Pomeranian should not be shaved. But she has been shaved in the past. And in certain spots, her hair has not grown back, as you will see on her back end. But that actually makes it easier for me to dry her because she dries really fast because her hair is thin. I'm using a pen brush because it's gentle and won't scrape the skin like a slicker brush does. A slicker brush would be good to use on a Pomeranian, but you just have to be careful because it's sharp. This is the pen brush that I'm using right here. She barely has any hair left on her tail too, which makes this a whole lot easier for me. Now that she's pretty much dry, I'm going to spray her down with some conditioner. And now I'm going to use a slicker brush. I'm opening her hair up so I can brush close to the skin, being careful not to scrape her skin. On dogs like this with really thick undercoat, you have to open up their hair and brush inside. Now I'm going to go through her fur with a comb to check for any tangles, because this will pull out the undercoat that's left as long as it's not matted, and she's not matted. Pomeranian's feet get very hairy. Now I already shaved out the pads of her feet. And I'm going to go around and shave up between her toes and make them nice and round.
Good girl. Real quick, real quick. Okay.
When you cut little dogs' nails, they get super sharp. And they can really tear up their owners when they're excited. And their owners come in and pick them up. They will get scratched pretty bad. So I'm going to go ahead and dremel her nails, file them down, so she won't scratch her mother. I'm working my way around to her back end. As you can see, her back end is bald back here. It's not supposed to be like that. Pomeranians usually are very furry on their back end. But when her hair was cut before, when it was shaved down, it just never grew back. And it might not grow back for a couple years. You never know. They're all different. So I'm just going to use my chunkers and neaten it up and make it nice and even back here. Actually, that's what I'm doing to her all over. I'm just neatening everything up, making it nice and smooth. I'm trimming her ears into a little point so they stick out the top of her hair on her head. What I like to do with Pomeranians when I'm done grooming them is go back over them with a 7-skip tooth blade and skim off every hair that's out of place. She's getting her ears clean while she's here today. She's almost done. I had to run in the back and get her a bandana. I got a couple left from Halloween. These tie on. I make the bandanas for all the dogs that are groomed here. And I'm just wiping her down with a little conditioner, because a dog can never be too soft.
We got to clean your eyeballs.
I'm going over her eyes one more time with this comb.
Got to clean your eyeballs.
It's hard to get these little crusties out of the corners of their eyes because they get really hard in there. Now I'm going to get a little bit of water and make sure they're cleaned out.
Good girl. There we go. There we go. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. There we go. We gotta get this. We gotta get the eye boogers. There we go.
And the big moment she's been waiting for, she is getting her Halloween bandana. It's got little green witches all over it. I'm running a comb over her one more time, fluffing her up, making sure that there's no hairs out of place, because nobody wants an uneven dog. She is getting a little white headband with a bow for her photo shoot today on Crazy Dog Lady TV. I'm going to let her check herself out in the mirror so she can see how cute she looks. Very good. It doesn't take much to entertain me.
That's pretty good, isn't it? Looking good. You got your bandana, you got your bow. You're all dressed up for a late Halloween.